thing.
they owe so much of their happiness, they feel like, to the guy, but really it's Strahan and Antonio
it's
Pierce
the team, right?
and Justin Tuck and
he was
OCU Minora. You know,
what a pull.
It's those guys that did it.
Yeah, Tom, we were discussing your top 25 major sports city rankings and where New York would stack up in that.
Hold on, let me get my headphones in so I can do this appropriately. Hold on.
And now we lost you.
Now he's gone.
I don't understand the logic of the work computer.
Audio there.
If it just fucks up pretty much everything about the computer.
We're off to a great start, boys. This is good. I like this.
We're live.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
We got you, Tom.
Okay.
My mail app just straight up doesn't work on this computer.
Using a male app? What about your female app?
Oh,
I don't. Come on, man. I got a girl now. I don't use that no more.
Come on, man.
Come on, bro. Come on, man.
Watch this,
wow! Breaking news,
recording.
guys! Breaking news.
What?
We've got a wide receiver trade in the NFL. And it's not the one you think.
That's minutes ago. That's minutes ago.
The Buffalo Bills have acquired Amari Cooper.
Good for them. They need a wide receiver.
What happened last night that both teams were like, we got to switch up at wide
receiver? No, like the freaking Bills, they're so easy to freaking cover. It's a shame. So they definitely needed to do that.
But who's Deshaun Watson not going to throw to now?
He's still going to throw to the ground. Okay. The ground is still open, so don't worry about that.
That man is seeing ghosts back there,
this is the biggest thievery in sports history.
Oh yeah, it's not even close. I don't even see. I mean, Ben Simmons comes pretty close.
No, dude, this is worse. This is worse.
Yeah.
How many years of Ben Simmons is 5 years? I'm assuming he got a 5-year extension.
He's in his last year.
I know, but how many years of it was he close to?
One and a half?
I think the first year, yeah.
So
Deshaun Watson's has been
nothing. Yeah.
I mean,
Ben Simmons comes the closest.
Ben Simmons at least not only played well in that 1 year, but was like he was on a Hall of Fame trajectory, right? In terms of assists, rebounds, points, plus the defense, all that. Deshaun Watson, in the entirety of this contract so far, is getting worse. You know what it's like? I don't know if this is the right thing to say, but I'll say it anyway. You know, Woj kept getting worse on TV. He was bad to start, then he kept getting worse year after year. This is the trajectory.
But just kept amassing power and influence in the process.
Yes, exactly. Sean doesn't have that. Well, actually, they don't seem to want to cut him or bench him. So he does have the power and influence.
And management, to bench him would be to admit the ultimate failure. Mm-hmm. Not only is because,
I was talking. What's happening?
Tom, you're muted.
You're muted.
You're very exuberant. And you're muted.
But I love the animation.
I love the hand motions. I love the energy. Now we just can't hear you, even though you're not muted. So you must have disconnected your mic.
Yes.
Tom.
But
I do like the idea of Tom just being a mime on the show.
So, if Deshaun Watson went from, because people were like, he's a top 5 or 6 quarterback. The last time he played,
he was
the Houston Texans. So if he went from that to 16th best, it'd be very disappointing because you thought you were getting one of the very best in the league, but you still got a starting quarterback.
Guys, Bryce Young in my backyard. How does it get worse than that? How does it get worse than
crazy.
that?
Yeah, he's worse.
This is like if they refused to bench Bryce Young, except this guy's a veteran.
This is like if they gave Bryce Young a max contract, fully guaranteed.
Yeah,
they're like, you know, when you're talking about how Ben Simmons, they're trying to keep Ben Simmons alive. The hope is alive there in Brooklyn.
You make it sound like he's in a Saw movie.
He's on life support.
Bryce Young, they were like, Andy Dalton. He's better. We got to go with Andy Dalton. We gave up. All right, here it is. Here's the trade. They gave up the 2023 first round pick, which was 9th overall. They
Okay.
gave up DJ Moore.
Okay.
They gave up the 2024 first round pick, which turned out to be
my
Caleb
God.
Williams, who had a good week.
Jesus
He's pretty
Christ.
good. He's pretty good.
Oh, wait, it gets better. The 2025 second round pick and the 2023 second round pick from last year.
But
So,
Tom, real quick, this is like in the NBA where second round picks are pretty rare to actually hit, right?
this is like trading.
No.
Like the second round
No,
is like
that's
getting
not how that
5 through
works.
10.
No.
Yeah, it's 5 through 10. Yeah, exactly. It's like you just
They gave
gave
up
up
2
lottery picks.
low top
Yeah.
10 picks,
Yeah.
plus
That's
2
tough.
number 1 overall picks,
Mm-hmm.
and DJ Moore, and one of the top wide
Bro,
receivers.
Yeah, he's a good receiver. Yeah.
Second round picks, it's not even just that you expect them to eventually start for your team. Most of the
You
time, you
expect them to-
expect them to start this
Now.
year. The
Now,
year that
yes.
you drafted them.
Yes.
The whole reason I did that power rankings was I was like, it can't get worse than this any other
Then
city.
Carolina.
Then Carolina.
Then Charlotte. They got the Carolina Panthers that just benched Bryce Young that they gave up the entire
Sure.
future for Andy Dalton. The Hornets haven't made the Eastern Conference Finals, period.
Ever in the history of
Ever.
the franchise.
Bring back the Bobcats.
Bring it back.
Yeah. Bring back
We
the
need
Bobcats.
the crash
When
Gerald Wallace era back. And
Yeah,
Raymond
when
Felton back.
Charles Lee gets this team to being good again, they can wear the Hornets jerseys. When they're under 500, they should have to wear Bobcats jerseys.
They should be stuck at it's our version in the NBA of relegation.
Yes.
Is like your worst version of your franchise. You have
Yeah.
to wear that jersey until you make the playoffs or
100%.
until you're good again.
100%. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I think I'm behind this. So we got the Hornets, the Panthers, and then the Charlotte FC. They're 3 major sports teams.
Wait, the
And they're all
hurricane doesn't
terrible.
exist over there
Yeah,
anymore?
you guys don't get the Hurricanes, or you
No,
just
that's Raleigh.
yeah.
Come on now.
It's
How
Raleigh.
close? Wait,
That's
how
Raleigh,
close?
boss.
How close is
Come
Raleigh
on
to,
now.
to Charlotte?
Come
How
on
close are we
now.
talking
That's the Research Triangle. That's the capital. That's 3 hours from here. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, 3
hours.
hours is that's
It is.
that's
It's
that's
definitely
far.
a different
Yeah.
city.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's how
Yeah.
far the
It's not like
Santa Clara
Palmdale
Stadium
in
is
LA,
from-
but yeah.
from San
it's
True,
Francisco.
still,
Yeah, any mild traffic, and it'll take you 3 hours to get from San Francisco to the Santa Clara Stadium to the Levi Stadium. That's true.
Speaking of Santa Clara, you guys want to know where the Bay Area checks in? Top 25, 5 major sports leagues. You have to have at least 3 teams in those 5:
Mhm.
MLS, NHL, Major League Baseball, NBA, NFL. So where does Bay Area rank among the 25?
So when
They're
you
in
say
the
Bay
top
Area,
10.
you gave us
So you
Oakland?
including like San Jose Sharks and like okay.
Oh, okay.
They're
And
in
this
the
is
top
last
10
They got
years.
it high,
Last 10
man.
years. I'm not doing all
Easily.
time. This is
The
just
Warriors
last 10 years.
have
10?
4 championships by themselves. Like
Yeah,
that's
last
Are we
10
still in the
the
San
Niners
Francisco
have been
Giants
to
era?
like 3 Super Bowls.
7 or 8.
I'm gonna say
7 or 8?
I'm gonna say 4.
Yeah, I'm close to the top 5 now that I'm thinking
Yeah.
about it. If we're waiting championships.
No, Oakland Raiders are in there.
No, those bums moved to fucking Las Vegas.
I know.
Yeah, but
they
not
are.
in the
They-
10-year window that Tom has here.
Wait, have
Yeah,
you seen
definitely top 10. So 7. Give me the 7 ball.
Okay, so the Bay Area is 14th.
Wow.
Okay.
14th?
right.
The Raiders dragged them
So
down from
you just
4th
don't.
to
So
14th.
you just have no respect for championships, is what you're saying.
No, I had that as one of the 3 pillars of this metric is championships won over the last 10 years. But the championships that they do have weren't in the last, let's see, 2014. We got the
Giants in
Giants.
2014, right? Yeah.
Warriors
Look at that.
15, 17, 18, 22. So they got 5
That's pretty good.
championships.
That's amazing.
But
yeah,
they
the
do have the
Athletics are
A's.
horrible. Yes.
they
They're
have
not there anyway. They're gone. Get them out of there. They should be out of your metric.
and, the,
so
and the Raiders were pretty incompetent as well.
they have made just 27 out of the possible 66 playoff opportunities.
Yeah.
Those 2
counting-
teams.
Are we counting projections for the Valkyrie?
All the entire city.
Oh,
The entire city, all the sports teams in that city over the last 10 years have had 66 regular seasons and they made the playoffs 27 times. So basically a third they made the playoffs.
Wow.
But when they get in, like the Warriors,
Pretty good, yeah.
pretty
See,
good.
the reason why I disagree with this logic, Tom, just as a Jets fan, is that
I don't know why that made me laugh.
it's so easy to ignore your team when you know they're completely trash. So like, if you let's just say you root for the A's and the Warriors, like
So let's say you're Charlotte. Okay, go ahead.
You don't think about the A's don't exist anymore. The franchise is crap. You're not following them even though you're still a fan and you're not diehard for watching losing, 40-win baseball every year. Like it's like no, like I just do the Warriors thing now. The A's can't be good. They won't be good. And I'm just
I don't know. There's still some
taking them out of my mind.
Pretty fervent like A's fans.
Yeah, they were sad when
they sold
the
out.
The ownership would disagree.
Well, the ownership is a different story.
So New York is 15th. New York is 15th.
Yeah.
So Bay Area is 14. New York is 15. And keep in mind, this was before the Mets and Yankees just.
Yeah, the Yankees pretty much always make the playoffs. The Jets never do. The Giants will make a wild card here and there, I feel like, especially in the last 10 years. The Rangers are always good, if not winning the championship.
You don't have to tell me.
This line is for you. This line I wrote for TomTheFinder.com. There's a 13-year-old Yankees, Giants, and Knicks fan aimlessly roaming around Manhattan and wondering if they'll ever see a championship in their lifetime. Knicks, Yankees, and Giants are walking around wondering if they'll ever win a championship.
You know what they're not going to see? They're not going to see a Liberty championship this year. Go Lynx. Fee unit.
I was at that game 1. Unbelievable. Woo! Unbelievable choke job.
Oh, my goodness.
By the way, Breonna Stewart, horrific down the stretch, bro.
She Westbrook that layup.
That was terrible. Why did she try to
We can't be dogging them. They're in the championship. Come on now.
No, Tom, you're a superstar. You're an MVP. You shoot 86% from the line. You bricked a freaking free throw that would have won the game. And then the layup was just wide open. It was just like the contest was barely.
Also, you could
smoked it.
She got clamped up in the second half of game 2.
Yeah.
And Sabrina Ionescu, where was she?
Yeah.
Certainly wasn't on the court.
Yeah.
Because she didn't do anything. Like Lainey Hamilton's the one that saved them. Like
they dominated so much of that game 1. I was like, oh, they're gonna kill these chicks. The series is over. That did not end up being the case.
Links in 4, baby.
All right, Zach. Minnesota. I have Minneapolis, St. Paul on this list. Let's go. Where do you want it?
I got a
25.
Out of 25 cities.
23rd.
Yeah. Vikings, Timberwolves, Twins, Wild, and United.
So I have a group chat. My fantasy football league. The only one I'm in. Well, no, I guess I'm in one for work too. But I'm in this one every year. It's a keeper league. It's my friends from Minneapolis, right? And it's how I keep in touch with them. We're in this group chat, and it is just nothing but them being hopeful about the Twins, hopeful about the Wild, hopeful about the Vikings, hopeful about this, hopeful about that. And I'm just like, you guys stop. Like it's the same conversation every year. They're so hopeful that it's like, I don't know why we do this to ourselves. I'm like, you do it to yourself. Stop. Like, just stop it.
How do you last 10 years?
They're treating Kirk Cousins like the jazz community treats Rudy Gobert. They're still making excuses for him.
Also, you guys have Rudy Gobert. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're what? You said they're 23rd, Tom?
No, I'm saying out of 25, where do you?
I'll say 20.
He said 23rd.
I'd say 23rd.
20. There's got to be at least a couple more miserable sports.
Yeah, it's really just getting down to the other miserable cities.
The Wolves have made the playoffs twice during this time. I think the Twins a handful of times, but they don't win anything. Vikings maybe a couple of times made the playoffs.
Vikings have been decent though.
I think the Wild are good.
What about
Minnesota holds the longest title drought of any team, any city with at least 4 teams in this group.
Since 91,
last
right?
winning a title in 1991.
But they also cheated in that, so it's really 87. They cheated in that one. Kent Herbeck pulled it. They just, I mean, the umpires were in on it. Obviously, you just pull someone off the base and tag them out. Like that's bullshit.
So yeah, they're 19th. Good job, Waz.
19.
Okay.
Wow.
Top 20.
Okay.
Who is behind them?
20. We're top 20. Yeah.
Hey, man. They're 4 behind New York. That's really not that bad.
That's not bad, actually.
That's pretty crazy to think about.
It's just so many damn teams in New
Yeah.
York. That's what I'm saying, to like occupy your time. Like,
So it doesn't feel as bad, you're saying? Like the lows
no,
don't
it
feel as
just
low?
doesn't. It like, again, like if you're an A's, Niners, Warriors fan, are you really that sad? Have you really been that sad the last 10 years?
No, I'll tell you this.
No, you haven't.
No. I agree with you, but I know a bunch of Niners fans who are like, oh, we have the worst luck and everything. I'm like, yeah, this is how I know you're young, because I grew up watching them just win Super Bowls all the time. Like so to me,
and then they went a prolonged time of stinking the joint up.
They were still pretty good. They just weren't like contenders, but they were always usually pretty good, right? They had a couple of real bad years, but usually like still a competitive team. And then now they get now they get there, and like I have like these friends who are like, oh my god, like it's never gonna go right for us. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like I watched Steve Young carve these motherfuckers up. Like it's it's not that bad. Joe Montana's the GOAT. Everyone agrees. Like it's nuts. Yeah.
For those on the pod, Maze put up a photo of a hat you can buy with the A's logo, but it says A''SSSS because it's doing like a little shadow effect.
Yeah, it's like
the solitaire game when you win solitaire and the solitaire cards go everywhere.
Yeah,
that's the effect that it has. It just says ass.
It's also so off-center that it does like this had to be intentional, where they were just putting
graphic design nightmare.
Oh my god!
Or dream like this. You're not pulling up this thing without it. You know,
have these sold out?
Yes. They got very popular.
I mean, that alone could have kept the team in business in Oakland.
It says size, no size out of stock. I love it. I love it.
Oakland ass.
Where's the city of Cleveland at?
Okay. Okay. Waz's favorite city, Cleveland.
I'm gonna say okay. Now I'm gonna say 23rd again for that.
Like the Browns,
got one title. Right,
the Browns are too
like Guardians. The Guardians.
Oh, that's right. The Guardians. No, the Guardians are pretty good. Okay.
The Guardians always good.
I'll say 20th.
The
right
Cavs
I'll go 17th.
Had the 4 LeBron years in this situation. Went to the playoffs all the time.
The Raiders,
Finals 4 times.
The Raiders dragged the Bay Area to 14th. Okay, I like the Browns can absolutely drag them to 20th.
The Guardians
16. Wow. Bay Area, New York, Cleveland.
Cleveland, this is for you. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That is
so the Columbus Blue Jackets. Are we counting those guys in this?
They've reached. So there are 3 metrics here.
Hold on, Tom. Real quick.
Okay.
I need to know what Woz thinks that does to the rank. Because are the
Blue Jackets good?
All right. Okay.
I don't know. Maybe they are, and it just make it more happy for the Cleveland fans. Are we counting Ohio State football?
Give them kids in Ohio.
Yeah.
All right.
There
are 3 metrics that are blending into one here. 1, your regular season performance.
Okay.
2, how many postseasons you made out of percentage of possible postseasons. And 3, how many titles you won. So and the titles are weighted more heavily. So titles do matter a little bit more.
Yeah.
So when Cleveland does win in 2016, that helps matters. But the funniest part about this is Chicago. Bro, Chicago is 23rd and they have 2 titles in there. So think about how bad they've been.
Crazy.
Outside of those,
the White Sox are horrible,
and the Blackhawks got one, right?
Blackhawks got one.
Blackhawks in 2015. So think about how bad the rest of your resume has to be. That Chicago has 2 titles and they rank bottom 3 cities in America.
I've been saying this for a while. The Bulls are one of the worst run organizations in basketball history. Yes, like 100%. Except for the time the greatest player of all time played for them, and a couple of years of Derrick Rose being an MVP, that is a garbage organization.
Yeah,
they are so poorly run. I was talking to a Bulls fan the other night who was just like, well, hopefully Reinsdorf just like moves on, like sells the team, or he just decides to like pass it on. And I was like, yeah, but like if he like passed away, like it's just gonna go to his son.
Yeah,
he's like, how? He's like, oh well, how is his son running? Like what do you think his son would be like? I was like, it's happening, man. Like his son's running this shit
Yeah,
already.
he's
Like
running
it's
it
not
right
going
now.
well.
Right. Yeah.
So the stuff here for Chicago is in the last 3 years, they've missed the playoffs 90% of the time across their
That's
6
tough.
teams.
That's tough. That's tough. Yeah.
That's insane.
The good news is if you're a Chicago sports fan, you can guarantee like when you have to pay attention to this stuff. You know, like just regular season schedule, and then you're out.
And then you're done.
Yeah.
All 6 teams missed the playoffs last year. So what I did was I had 3 time periods. I looked at your previous season, your previous 3 seasons, and your previous 10. Chicago as a city missed the playoffs, all 6 teams, and they've only made it like 2 times across the last 3 years. So like,
well, at least the winners are nice.
Man.
Yeah. So they ranked 24th in regular season score, 24th in playoff score, and then they're 16th in title score because of those 2 championships. Wow. And granted, Theo Epstein delivering a championship and ending the Billy Goat curse should count
big.
For more than one.
Yes. Is it weighted? Are the championships weighted based on like difficult, like the fact that there was a drought, the fact that the Cavs came back from a 3-1 deficit, or does even distance away from like if it's 10 years ago rather than now?
The Celtics championship means more, is weighted more because it was in the recent times, whereas 2015 Warriors, that one doesn't matter as much in this system. Sense, So if there's a recency bias here, it's more tilted towards like how you're feeling right now as a city, which means the number 1 sports city in America, Kansas City.
Oh,
I guess the Royals do well all the time.
Kansas City.
Obviously,
Nick
the Chiefs are fucking unstoppable.
God damn it, Nick Wright.
I know. I mean, it's coinciding with his rise.
Who else do they have though? The Warriors and the Royals. I mean, the Warriors, the Royals, and the Chiefs, and who else?
So they have the MLS team. So the MLS team hasn't won a championship, but Sporting Kansas City is also pretty good. Well. The Royals have a championship in 2015, and then the Chiefs
they fucking beat the Mets.
3 out of the last 4 or 5 or whatever it is. Super Bowls. So they have the best title score. They're 6th in playoffs, and then they're 11th in the regular season. So as a sports fan, I do want to ask you guys, is that what you want?
So they got 4 titles, but it's just because they have such a smaller concentration of teams.
They don't have the Oakland ass dragging them down.
Kansas City Kings anymore.
So Woz, I didn't want the New York and LA and Bay Area to stack the deck, so I counted for that. It's basically if you had 11 teams, you don't just get to stack the deck like that. So it's per team. Your performance. So Kansas City's at number 1, but they have the number 1 title score, number 6 playoff score, and 11 regular season score. So if you look at it, like they get better the deeper they go, which I think is what fans want, right? They don't want what I have here.
Dude, 7 years in a row losing in the wild card round in baseball is not going to make any fan base happy,
brother. As a Braves fan, let me tell you, the '90s were fun, but also very frustrating.
Yeah, the Bills. Basically, you're the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah,
right?
except for '95. Yeah, except for '95, where Tom Glavine's a hero. That's all.
So the first time I did this, guys, I ran the numbers and it spit out that the number 1 sports city in America was Dallas. And I was like, nah, I can't have that work. But because they're so good in the regular season, they're second in the regular season, second making the playoffs, but they've got one championship to show for it. The Rangers in 2023.
Did you see the Rangers? I guess the Cowboys always do make the playoffs.
They sure do. They don't do anything in there.
In the playoffs, but they make the playoffs.
They don't have playoff losses in Tom's metric.
The Mavs are always in the playoffs too. Yeah.
Right. So I was like, yo, this is crazy. The number 1 sports city in America is Dallas. This doesn't feel right. And then I was like, I gotta place more weight on championships.
Yeah, because bruh. And it reminds me, right? Because Ethan had brought this up to me. He was like, "Yeah, you won't be good at sports betting because you like to attach yourself to losers," which I was like, "That's kind of true."
That was a great line.
And he was talking about specifically the Brits in soccer, the whole bring the cup home, blah blah blah. And I legitimately like to want to see the Brits like finally be happy. What's so bad about it? They
Why
just
do you
want
want
to
to see them be happy?
badly. They so desperately
Woz loves him some colonialism. Let me tell you,
really
like Woz
does.
cannot get enough colonizer, man.
They so desperately wanted. It's hilarious, right? And so I met
Does that
these.
just mean you're a sport contrarian? Like you just want to root for the heel? Is that
No, but also like these are the players that I watch the most when I'm watching soccer. Like when I'm watching the Premier League, it's like a bunch of British players. You feel me? So like I think that's part of it too. Like I feel more attached to the dudes.
It is also he's used to rooting for the Jets and the Mets. So like this is a very much.
It's all of it. Although
The
these
Jets are
guys
also
are not
trying to bring it home.
to the Mets, but I had met these Irish dudes in Vegas. I think that was
that's
was this
why
summer.
you root for a city? Is that or a team? Is because you met some dudes in Vegas from Ireland?
No. I was explaining to them like, you don't mind you. This is great.
I
I
cannot
was
wait
like, you
for
don't
this.
think it would be nice, like, to see the Brits like do well in the.
You
in
asked
the Euro?
Irish people
Yeah,
this?
yeah. And they were like, "Fuck no, fuck the Brits. We want to see them die every time. Hell no, fuck the Brits." That was like it was incredible, right? It was just one of my favorite. It's something that'll never leave me. Like talking to these drunk Irish bros and just the notion that they would want to see anything
The audacity
happen to the Brits is hilarious. And like how those guys feel about the Brits is how I feel like America feels about the Cowboys. Right?
Yeah.
Like everybody really enjoys seeing them lose.
Like I do think the analogy would work if it was how Red Sox fans feels about Yankees fans, where it's like we're the little brother, the
yes,
we lost for so many years, and someone's just like, yeah, but they're right there and they're kind of in the same division. So don't you want to see them do really well? It's like, no. By the way,
it was great.
This Netflix series, The Comeback, which is going to be basically my childhood, is the Red Sox comeback against the Yankees. I can't.
I was a big Yankee hater at the time, so I was very happy about that. Still a Yankee hater.
Is there anything to tell? I mean, that's all Bill Simmons' lane for like 10 years is just that whole thing happening. Like, we've seen Fever Pitch. Like it's been covered.
And David Ortiz, it's wild.
It's been 20 years.
Yeah, it's just for me masturbatory to see all of the guys on the screen. It's just all I want to see. I just don't want
to see the bloody sock.
I hear you, Tom.
Give me nothing but Curt Schilling talking about this. That's what I want.
Bloody sock. That part of the legend jumped the shark.
Oh, when he painted a sock
a long time ago, but
This is the Curt Schilling thing is so hard because I don't know if you guys remember this, but the very first person to rep ALS was Curt Schilling. Like he would wear it on his shoes. I think his son is named Gehrig for Lou Gehrig. And I was like, yo, and he's got the red sock. He's like a hero of mine. Like this. And then I was like, oh no, but he's totally.
He's not all devil. Obviously, nobody's all devil.
Well, you're pretty close.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if we can call up Kurt and get him. Like, if we want to get Lou Gehrig Day started in baseball, is like he the number one guy that you call? I don't know. So that was really tough. So I was like, oh, man. But his like handle on all his social media and his websites is Gehrig. Like that's he is the biggest Lou Gehrig fan ever. And
he's an ALS head.
Yeah. I can only hope for one day I'm brought up in a conversation and Waz's defense of me is he's not all devil.
He's not all
that
devil.
Is the ultimate compliment.
He's got something.
All right, wait.
I have a question for you guys because I've thought about this a lot over my lifetime because there are times where like, all right, your team loses and you try to justify that loss, right? And so if you lose, like obviously if you lose in the championship, this is the case, but if you lose in like a divisional round, second round of a playoffs in the NBA, whatever, and you lose to the team that eventually wins the championship, Do you feel better about that loss? Like, do you kind of like 100%. Do the mental gymnastics of like, well, we lost to the champs. You know, if you're going to lose, you lose
do
the champs.
next year. You said to yourself, we lost to the best team in the league, so that means we're probably could be knocking on the door. Blah 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 blah. That shit.
Yeah.
Isn't it
Which
dumb?
Is why the
it's
Pacers
such a dumb like.
It kind of
Pacers fire up.
Specifically when the Niners lost to the Rams. When the Niners lost to the Rams and the Rams beat the Bengals, it pissed me off.
Yeah, because you guys would definitely beat the Bengals.
We would have watched the Bengals, and that was a golden opportunity, right?
The thing that pissed me off about that Rams one was that Stafford threw a season-ending interception against the Buccaneers that was dropped, and then he threw a season-ending interception against the 49ers that was dropped, and then they're like, wow, Matt Stafford comes through. I'm like, no, this motherfucker just trying to give it away 2 straight games.
I hate that shit, man. Like the whole interception versus like when a wide receiver drops a pass and then the quarterback has to take that hit of like that he's 0 for 1 on that pass. I get so angry how bad the stats are for football. And I know they've gotten better, the next level stats. But to that point, like if you throw Matt Stafford throwing it right into the hands of the D-back and he just drops it, like that's not
like, oh, he got a hand on, like it is like you're catching a punt essentially. Like it's there.
But I think people have gotten smarter about it too, Tom, where like people understand like the Kirk Cousins model of never taking a chance ever while you're out there is a losing model. So it's like, yeah, this guy throws more interceptions, but he's gonna win you more games than just a safe ass check down Charlie, never take any chances.
I do think
Josh Allen type.
I do think you should get credit. You should get credit for throwing a touchdown if it's a pick six.
That is a hot take.
What type of credit would you like?
I don't know. I think it should count as a.
It should count as a touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely. You threw a touchdown.
So you guys want an interception and a touchdown.
Interceptions should be completions.
Do you guys want to hear top 5? So we
top
got
5
City.
Best sports.
So we got KC number 1.
KC number 1. Let's get the fanfare music. Okay, KC number 1. Boston number 2.
Yeah.
Their teams do well. I mean, it's
you hit the button.
We didn't coming.
It'll come through eventually.
It's one of those.
There we go. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Third rate Levitard show. Here we go. All right. Dallas at number 3.
That's crazy.
Still doesn't seem right. So you computed this stuff. They came out number 1. You changed it. You're like, that can't be right. And they dropped to 3?
Down to 3.
Yeah. That's how good
the Bay Area is
14th. Yeah, this doesn't sit well with me.
Their last 10 seasons, their win percentage as a city is 55%. And
there's
Barry,
no like
Barry is 49%.
Like Mike McCarthy and Jason Garrett were involved, so we got to knock this
down.
It
makes sense. It makes sense though. It's not the championship.
I don't know Dallas fans that are like outside of like straight up Mavericks fans. I think a lot of Dallas fans are miserable because of the Cowboys. I don't think this is how that goes.
Yeah, but that's because they only want championships.
Right. This is an interesting.
Well, I think they want a playoff win too. Like,
do you think NFL? Do you think NFL matters more for your city in terms of the vibes of your city?
100%.
So in the next edition,
I think it should be weighted as NFL championships matter more, and the lack of success matters more than NBA. Then baseball, then hockey, then MLS.
Ooh. I mean, especially in a city with this one team, like Jets failure is less big of a deal in New York than Dallas failure is in Dallas.
Yeah.
Not to the individual fan bases, but because the population is split, like it's just less impactful to half the people. Like it just doesn't, like it's not even that it's not impactful. It might make them actually happier that the Jets are sticking it up. I know when the Yankees struggle, I feel better.
Yeah.
Shit.
So Dallas at 3 is tough.
I think the number 1 sports city is just Woz. I think that's the number.
I'm just constantly trying to find ways to be happy in sports.
You have to.
My teams
hard work
delivering the happiness for me.
England hasn't brought it home yet. Yeah, you got to find
exactly.
Ways to
I was talking to Dominique the other day, and I was like, "Yo, of course. I was like, yo, I root against Trevor Lawrence's success because the Jets missed out on him. So if he sucks, it's like we didn't miss out on anything. So that he stinks up the joint and looks completely overrated makes me happy. Sports happiness. Sorry.
Right. No,
so that's kind of the opposite of like if you lose to the champ, you feel better. It's if you missed out on a great quarterback, you feel even worse. You feel terrible.
100%.
You're not like
the fact that he's a flop,
adopting
it's like,
that success.
Right.
Sam Darnold, everybody's like, oh, he's so good now. No, he's not. He's not playing like a number one pick. Stop it. Stop it.
This graphic went in my group chat here back home where it was like no one would believe these stats in the NFL season. It's crazy. So here's the stat. Here are the stats, okay? Sam Darnold is 5-0. Joe Flacco just threw for 360 yards and 3 touchdowns. Geno Smith leads the league in passing yards. The Commanders' offense with a rookie at quarterback is absolutely unstoppable. Joe Burrow has 12 TDs and 2 interceptions and is 1-4. And I was like, quarterback wins or losses is not a stat. Not a stat. Yeah. Sam Darnold is not 5-0. The team that Sam Darnold plays for is
that defense is 5-0, man. That defense is
just watch the freak. They're not that. He's not. I watched them against the Jets. He's not very good.
Don't tell my friends that. They're all in.
He's not very good.
There was a rush to the there was a rush to the waiver wire.
Guys, and he's killing it. And I'm like, he's not killing anything. Sorry.
Yeah.
Number 4. Miami.
A lot of Heat playoff appearances.
Yeah.
Dolphins stink up the joint mostly.
They've had a couple of good regular seasons, but
Lionel Messi
recently
did he have an impact on
Messi? Did they win?
Messi, 1 year Messi. 1 year Messi.
The Marlins don't do shit. How is this hold on. What? Oh, because of the Carolina Panthers? Or the Florida Panthers?
Florida Panthers. Yeah.
I guess they've been
heavily
really good
here.
They're always good.
And they just won the title.
And the Heat make like I said, the Heat make the playoffs every year. They get to the finals.
The Marlins are so bad, though.
I think having
they still haven't recovered from David Sampson.
You stupid.
Yo, question for you guys.
Sorry, but amazing nepotism hire. Yeah, no, he's great. Yeah. He's great. Running everything perfect.
Really looking forward to Michael Reinsdorf era. So I got a question. Do you think championship appearances or finals appearances should count to this? Or do you think just making the playoffs and then championships?
I actually think conference championship, conference finals.
I mean, maybe playoff wins.
I think the deeper you go, that should matter. Because if a team is losing every year in the conference championship, that's better than a team that's out in the first round every year, right?
So Philly is getting undue credit for making it.
That's going to be a hit. Yeah, that's going to be
the amount of mileage we got out of the Knicks' second round playoff exit last year.
I know, dude. I know. They lost.
You would have thought they lost the championship by 1 shot in Game 7. The way that thing was a thing.
Has any team ever thrown a parade for being a second round out like the New York Knicks have?
Dude,
I mean, it really is amazing.
As Heat fans about that finals run, the last one that they had, man, where they beating Milwaukee and they're beating Boston.
It doesn't compare.
Bro, that's just an amazing feeling as a fan base.
The 8 seed. Well, I also wonder if seeding should factor in, or if we're getting too deep in the weeds, right? If you pull off the upset, does that add to it? If you are the 8 seed and you lose, should that not count as much, or should that hurt you because you're just the 8 seed?
So you do get extra points for making the championship and upsets.
Okay.
So you're saying if you're a number 1 seed and you make it to the championship, you should get some extra credit for that. But if you're a number 1 seed and you get upset, the team, the underdog.
I think that's got to. I also think that's got to knock down your playoff success. That's got to be some kind of hit to whatever accumulation you've had. So the Bucks have been pretty successful in the playoffs, right? Especially with that championship in 2021. But the fact that they lost as a 1 seed, and then they lost last year as what were they? Were they 3rd last year? They were the 3 seed last year, right? That's an upset. Now, granted, injuries factor in and all that stuff, but you get upset. I think that should matter.
Yeah, I think
so.
Okay. We should dock.
Milwaukee, by the way.
Yeah.
Doesn't I tried this. Green Bay doesn't count as a metro area in Milwaukee, even though in my head it
but they
is,
like
but it's
very
not.
much claim it as like
I
that's
know.
like
The
down the
Packers.
like even though it's far, like they're just like we're Packers country.
It didn't work for me. I was like, I thought I would have
How
Milwaukee
far
on
is
this
Green
list.
Bay from Milwaukee?
I think
Past
it's a
his
stretch,
3-hour
man.
rule from Charlotte to Raleigh, so it's out.
the hurricane rule.
Yeah, it's a track.
All right, so number 4 is Miami. Number 5, Tampa.
Okay. Lightning, Bucks.
I know the
Rays are good.
Rays are pretty
Pretty
much
good.
they got like a model organization allegedly.
So
Okay.
Tom Brady Bucks
Allegedly,
won
it
the
was
Super
so-
Bowl
so
2020. Why
loaded.
the passive aggressive?
That's what people claim. I wouldn't know.
Boston anti-analytics now. It's just,
Yeah, they got Otani, dude.
Demo's not around, so he's anti-analytics.
They won the Super Bowl with Tom Brady, and they
Yeah.
have got 2 Stanley Cups, I believe. Lightning in 2020 and 21.
Super Bowls that
The Lightning
burned
are
my
always
soul
good, right?
so horribly. Just Tom Brady leaving the Pats and somehow getting a fucking Super Bowl. That shit burned my soul, bro.
I mean, he won a Super Bowl. He wasn't that good.
He was,
But that's most Super Bowls
but
for
that's
him. It's
neither
like
here
he
nor
plays
there.
okay, the team plays great. And
It
then-
wasn't a Peyton Manning Denver situation though. So
no,
No,
it
it
was
wasn't
not
that
that
bad. No,
because
no.
that was terrible.
That was-
and that made me happy because I love
he should not get a ring. He shouldn't get a ring for that. That's
Which is a good segue, guys, to Devontae Adams is now a New York Jet with Aaron Rodgers. I was trying to think of the NBA equivalent to this,
and
I
you
threw out
nailed
a
it.
couple.
And you
God,
nailed
these
it.
pictures
And you nailed it.
Okay.
No, first of all, he did
I
not.
didn't even know
nail
that.
it.
I didn't even know that
That's
picture existed.
ridiculous. He
For one,
nailed
I didn't know that
it.
picture existed.
He
Okay,
nailed it.
So
You
that
guys are insane.
was phenomenal.
He nailed it.
Okay.
Zadrunas Ilgauskas on the Heat. Like, stop it, bro.
Hey, that's an all-star,
Jeff
man.
Green
What are you talking
joining
about?
forces with
That's a top 5
KD in
pick.
Brooklyn.
That's a top 5 pick.
Get your ass out of
A
here.
couple of top 5 picks right there, was.
Listen, here's the thing.
Jeff Green with the Nets, Zadrunas with LeBron
in Miami.
PJ Tucker with James Harden. I mean,
This is ridiculous. Here's the thing.
PJ Tucker.
It's going to make the team. It's going to make the team better, but it's not going to matter because, like, the process is completely fucked. The idea that we just handed the reins to Aaron Rodgers,
oh my God,
behind a horrible offensive line or a horrible pass protecting offensive line, that shit, their run blocking is garbage too. It's going to make it marginally better. It's not going to matter though.
I mean,
I don't think Devontae Adams is going to be bad.
No, but they're recreating a Packers team that never did anything.
yeah, that's a
which
problem.
still is greater than the standard the Jets have put out there. So it is an upgrade. Devontae's good. It's just Aaron Rodgers isn't good anymore.
It's just like the offense is predicated on like individuals have to be individually great constantly. That's not an NFL offense. That's just not how modern NFL offenses win. Like the Chiefs aren't scoring on people because McCole Hardman is always beating people. Like you can't just make an offense that way.
Right. It's
I fucking hate Woody Johnson. By the way, Bill Belichick taking a huge side swipe at him, just killing him, and like just going out of his way to murder this guy in public. Obviously, I've always hated Belichick. Thank you for that, Bill.
He took a break from dating a 25-year-old to go take a side swipe at Woody Johnson.
It's a very disturbing story.
Both parts.
How old? All right, how old is the girl would have to be now, today, for you to do a Belichick one day?
25 minutes ago, he said, "I don't do that anymore. I got a girl now." And
now
so now it's gone.
Me at 37. I think 25 is probably the cutoff. At 37, for sure.
Have you tried talking to someone in their mid-20s?
It's tough.
It's
tough.
impossible.
It's tough.
It's impossible.
It's very tough.
I'm not even talking about romantically. I'm just talking about like in general.
It's very tough. Maybe like in the Midwest or like the deep South, like 25-year-olds like in the Rust Belt or like more hard Scrabble.
I don't know where this is going.
And
I don't like this.
therefore, like less egg-headed and pig-headed and air-headed, maybe. But here in Los Angeles, that's not the case. That is not the case.
I was talking to someone at a bar recently,
That is
and
not the case.
it was just like legitimately just talking. And then at one point she mentioned like, "Oh yeah, I graduated from college like a few years ago." I was like, "What do you mean a few years ago?" She's like, 3 years ago. And I said, "No, I can't talk to you." I was like, I stopped. I was like, I wasn't pursuing anything anyway. But like once I was like, what do we do? Like, I can't do this. I'm not.
Is that a form of flirting though? I feel like that's a form of flirting.
Me
like,
leaving?
Yeah. I feel like you're playing hard to get.
Playing real hard to get. I mean, by leaving.
You're leaving.
I literally left, and then I haven't seen her since. So yeah,
we see the vision.
She's thinking about you right
We
now.
see the vision,
Stop
Zach.
fire, Zach. God,
Distance makes the heart grow fonder.
it worked
Yeah.
for
About
Devontae and Aaron.
it's the real game of Where's Waldo now. That's how I flirt. It's just
Yeah.
I do think it's funny that he popped up behind Aaron on his weekly McAfee hit.
Oh, no.
Couple
That was
hours
totally
after
staged,
the
by
trade.
the way. Totally staged.
Definitely
You saw
staged.
McAfee being like, "Wait, who's that? Who's behind you?"
We love the
And
Taco
just-
Bell commercials.
and just AJ Hawk just staring. That's all he like. They pay him just to
AJ
stare.
Hawk doesn't
Wasn't he a
have anything
Packer?
to say.
He was.
Yeah,
Go
he was
sign
Aaron
him.
Rodgers' guy.
The band
Go
back together.
sign him. Shut your ass up, Zach.
Well,
Go sign
AJ
him.
Hawk was a problem, man.
Yeah, he was a problem. The smoke coming out your nose emoji. I get it.
He's built different. He's built different.
He's built
One of the
different.
worst things, by the way, I was recording this morning. I was recording these season preview shows for NBA radio, and it is essentially just me talking for a couple of minutes here and there, and then we play old interviews or like media day footage or whatever. And so I did the Lakers one today, and we played this interview from Summer League with NBA radio talking to JJ Redick. And at one point he says like, "Yeah, I said this, when I got hired, and everyone told me that's cap." And he's talking to like Eddie Johnson, Justin Termini, and like Tom Crean or Ryan McDonough or something, right?
That was
It was Ryan McDonough, and they're like, and he's like, "Do you guys know what cap is?" And they're like, "I don't know." And they're like, it's like a lie or whatever. And then Termini tried to do a callback of it like a couple minutes later. He goes, "Now, are you capping me, or is this?" And I'm like, "Can everyone on this interview please stop saying that? Please stop.
Yeah,
like this is not working out."
I
for
would
anybody.
literally be melting
was-
into my chair.
It's
just
literally the
listening to
worst
that.
thing I've ever heard in my
Yeah.
life. It was so bad. It felt bad when JJ said it. Like,
Yeah, of
JJ,
course,
you're
JJ,
40.
you shouldn't be saying
You're 40. Stop. Like that can't
that.
be.
You're 40.
Termini definitely should not be saying that shit. Like Jesus
You're
Christ.
40. Stop.
So, we gonna talk about the Sam Mitchell clip that happened on Friday night?
Real
Yeah,
quick, I
speaking
do
of
want since we
Radio,
talked.
folks.
Wait, hold on. Since we talked about Devontae Adams, I gotta pass this on from Bill Barnwell. Okay, this is the Raiders draft picks from 2016 to 2023. Okay, which is he said the final year of McKenzie, the Gruden Mayock era, and the two McDaniels drafts. So 8 drafts that appeared, they have yielded 1 star, Max Crosby, 1 solid offensive player,
Who's about to
and
leave?
a couple of solid defenders. That's it. Just from these drafts. Like so the names crossed out in black are not in the league anymore. The ones in red are on different teams. These are their drafts for like 8 years. That's how bad the Raiders are.
Yeah.
It gives me so much joy. Like I try to explain to people, like, "Oh, you hate my team." I was like, I literally hate one franchise in sports, and it is the Raiders. Because the worst people that have ever existed. Truly the worst. And like sports fandom is fucked in general. The Raiders are truly the worst people. As an organization, especially as a fan base. I've told the stories many times. Like I walked into the Oakland Coliseum bathroom and they're just pissing on the floor because they didn't want to wait for the trough. You know how bad you have to be to not wait for a trough and just piss on the floor?
Is kind of the floor though.
There was a
just
half
an elevated floor.
Tom, there was a half an inch of piss on that
That's
floor.
tough. Oakland Coliseum. That's tough.
The
Like,
trough
Raiders-
is an elevated floor?
I mean,
Yeah, it's an elevated floor. Yep.
This is the ceiling is the roof situation.
Oh.
But this
Interesting.
thing from Bill Barnwell gave me so much joy. I can't even tell you. It is the
Yeah, it's
one
really-
Max
franchise I
Crosby's
truly
pretty
hate.
freaking good though.
Oh, he's amazing.
Until
Can't
they
wait for
traded
him
to
to
the
request a trade.
Lions
Yeah,
in like
right.
a week.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Hunter Renfro.
Josh Jacobs.
What a time.
Yeah.
It's
Zamir
really too
White,
bad that
man, what a
Jihad
bad-
Ward didn't work out.
Not yet.
Not
So
yet.
is this they're bad at drafting, or all these guys high prospects, like really good prospects that go into that organization and just
It's probably a mixture of both.
I mean, to only like hit on like 4 or 5 guys in 8 years, where you have, you have roughly 7 picks every year, if not more, maybe a little less depending on trades, right? But like you have a lot of chances just to get guys who are still in the league. Like they have so many guys who aren't in the league anymore.
Yeah, the
And we're talking,
2019
like, second,
draft
third
was
round picks.
probably their best here. Like Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Abram was good
Pistons,
while he was
basically.
playing. Foster Moreau is functional. Like Hunter Ren, like that's a solid draft. But yeah,
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
But then they
but also
traded
not on the
everybody.
team anymore. Yeah, they're gone.
Doesn't matter.
I love it. It's so great. Okay, Sam Mitchell.
All right, Sam Mitchell. Let's play the clip. It's fantastic. Bring it up here.
This is the long one when it comes back, right?
Yeah, I saw that. The coaches don't get medals. I guess it just tells you what international how they value coaches. Not at all.
I'm surprised.
How the coaches don't get a gold medal.
I'm surprised coaches get a paycheck for this show. I think like maybe you should do this for.
Last time I looked at my check, it's pretty close. So hey, I'm taking you come up with that money you got since you're over there bragging about it. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you rent your beach house out down in Florida during the hurricane? Or do I need to go on? How about your townhouse over in Buckhead?
Hey, what's going on?
You want to call me out? I mean, come on. You leaving broke and hungry. Let's just see it. I know what you have and where you live, young fella, so you need to stop.
I think we have snitches on the show today.
No, we don't have snitches. We have
Sam
truth tellers.
Mitchell.
We have truth tellers. So you're the one who crying poor and destitute up here. When do I need to keep going on further, more and more? Or do you want me to stop right now?
Go to this game between the Sacramento Kings
I done
and
told
the
you, young
Golden
fella,
State Warriors.
you're going to stop messing with me on national TV. I done told you about that. Hey, do I need to give out the address? Because you're not at home right now.
Oh my God, dude.
A game in Seattle,
Yes.
Sam.
I miss that place. They should still have an NBA team.
Nick Castellanos up to
love
bat.
Seattle being the best NBA city ever. They won a championship. The fact that they do not have a team, I don't understand it. That needs to be an NBA team in Seattle.
Well, for tonight, they.
All right, and then the follow-up was to make sure that everybody knew it was fine.
Yeah, this is so awkward.
I haven't seen
this. Is worse than the other thing.
Beefing with Sam Mitchell. I rolled up to his house to see if we really had beef. Let's see what's going on.
Hey, what the hell you doing at my house? Did I see you last night?
That's on.
About what? I hope it's some Morris beef or some real steak ribeye.
I'm trying to tell people that we're neighbors and friends, and you're basically telling people like, hey, my man is doing all right.
Last night, it was a backhanded compliment. Everybody thinks that person sent to our right is broken, destitute. What I basically was saying is,
no one thought that.
The reason the house was on my mind, remember I had just asked you about the house.
That's not my address.
I know it's not your address, but we were talking about me and my wife getting the house for the holidays or something. And
it's
I
going to go on for a while.
So I can go on.
It goes on for a while.
And here's the thing. My wife runs the house, okay? She's the one that has a new pool in it, and it's a beachfront property.
I know.
You can rent.
You give me some more details.
There you go.
Now,
this is tough. Oh my
It's
God.
I am very uncomfortable right now.
What? But why do you need to address just a funny moment? Because the internet is piling on. Who cares?
NBA very much cares about what happens on Twitter. Like that's
so
just
stupid.
I agree.
Who put him up to that though? Like who would have actually it wasn't Sam's idea to do that.
No, it wasn't Sam's idea. But all right. So I had a very contentious relationship with Sam Mitchell for a long time and eventually won him over by doing radio with him so much.
Oh, because you was beefing with him when he was the Minnesota
I didn't
coach.
do fucking shit. Okay.
Okay.
I didn't do anything.
Tim Robinson.
Yeah.
No, I literally. So it starts with.
How many times did you fire Sam Mitchell, Zach?
He tried to kick me out of his office during an interview. I was doing this is back when this is back when they traded for KG. They traded back for him, right? He
You got
played
that
like
place
5
in
games.
Buckhead, man. Yeah.
Was Cat was already on the team?
Cat's on the team, yeah.
Okay.
Cat, Levine, Wig. And so they trade for KG. He's gonna come in and like, bridge the gap there is all the bullshit, right? So I go to Minneapolis to go do a story on the whole KG thing. Sam agrees to an interview. I'm there after practice one day, and Wolves PR comes like, "Hey, did you see Sam?" I'm like, "No, man. I'm waiting for him." He goes, "Oh, I think he's in his office. We got to go catch him before he leaves." I'm like, "Okay." So we go to his office, sit in his office. Sam immediately is like, and Sam doesn't know me at that point, right? He's agreed to this thing, but he doesn't really know me. So he's now like giving me shit for this interview, where he's like, "Just so you know, now you're on my time. I'm supposed to leave." I'm like, "You agreed to the interview. I don't know what to, like. I was supposed to meet you on the court. You weren't on the court. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, this is." Well, I got 10 minutes, right? I got 10 minutes. So first 3.5 minutes of the interview of my 10-minute allotment, he is just being so difficult. Like I'm asking him questions like, "I answered this 3 weeks ago." I'm like, "Okay, I wasn't here. Like, I don't live here. Like, like this, I don't know what to tell you. I'm here now. These are the questions I have." He goes, "I've already answered this." All right, whatever. Then something happens where he starts like argue. I gotta find the audio because I still have the audio somewhere, but he starts arguing with me about like wording of a question. And I'm like, no, this is what I'm asking. And then he finally goes to the PR guy, "Get this motherfucker out of my office." We're at 3.5 minutes of this interview, right? I say, "Sam, I have 10 minutes. We have wasted 3.5 minutes. I'm going to sit here for the next 6.5 minutes. We can either have a good conversation or we keep doing this, but I'm not going anywhere for the next 6.5 minutes," right? He then is like difficult for like a minute. And then the last half of the interview, he's fantastic. He gives me everything I want. Then as he takes over the Timberwolves after the passing of Flip Saunders, he becomes the coach for a year, maybe 2. I can't remember what it was. But anytime I saw him in city, and I still don't think he knew who I was, right? I like maybe he recognized my face or whatever, but it's not like he knew me. We have a mutual friend who tried to like connect us at one point, but it never happened. But like he doesn't know who I am, and he's just like, I would ask a question in a scrum, he would be super difficult with me. Like I don't know what it was, but that was it. Then we start doing radio years later, and he's like not really addressing me, not really talking. Like we're on a 3-man show. I'm the host. He's kind of just talking to the other guy, no matter what I asked, right? I'm leading this thing. And this would happen for a few shows. Then we start doing shows together periodically. And I'm being a good host. I'm setting him up for stuff. We're having good basketball conversations. And eventually he like warmed up to where then he really like liked me. But like he will put you through these tests because he's a hard-nosed dude from like the 80s and 90s. Like that's him, right? Like he's a no-nonsense guy. He likes ball busting. Like he likes testing people and seeing how you'll react. So as I'm watching this thing the other night, I'm like, all right, this is gold. This is the greatest moment in NBA TV history. Like absolute, like by far. That is a channel that has dropped the ball in programming in so many ways. It is actually very frustrating how poorly like executed that channel is. Like that you could program that channel so easily to be so good and like a must-have for basketball fans. And I just think it's kind of just there instead. But that's the greatest moment. But as I'm watching this clip unfold, I was so delighted because I know Sam is like kind of joking, but also because he mentioned money, Sam is like going in. Like Sam is going to make it awkward. That like he apparently gave up he did give it out an address later on in the night, but it was a fake address according to everybody. To do the follow-up video. Like I do think Sam was joking. I think he maybe in some people's minds took it too far, but that to me is like fine. Like I don't mind that kind of awkwardness. I don't mind that kind of conflict. Like that's to me, I'm like I'll bathe in that all day. Like that doesn't bother me. But to do the follow-up video, that's when I started to feel like, oh no, this was more serious than they're letting on. Yeah, without that follow-up video, I don't think there's a problem. I think it moves on. Everyone moves on. That shit made it seem way more serious.
I think it's interesting how he had him show up at his house, at Sam's house. You know, because you saw that house. It's not a slum, right? That is a nice house. And so it was Sam's way of being like, hey, I'm not pocket watching right now.
I think the media is just like a bunch of really like deeply sensitive and insecure people. And he got dissed on the internet and he wanted the internet to see that, yo, I'm good type shit. Like,
I don't know. I don't think that's a him thing. Oh,
yeah,
I'm wondering. You mean the other
dude,
or you mean Sam? You mean Sam?
No, not Sam.
Oh, you mean Chris Miles? Yeah. Oh, okay, I could see that. Yeah.
Like Chris Miles is like, yo, can we just like do this so that like I stop looking bad on the internet?
That's Sam
that's
is
what that seems like to me.
Sam is ultimately a good teammate. Like Sam is ultimately a good teammate. He was
push back on jokes.
Stuff.
You made a joke like he shouldn't get paid for the work he does on this show.
Right.
And clearly they've discussed something like this before because
Sam
was like,
the
fight was over 10 shots before.
Sam was like, first of all, these jokers is barely paying me. Okay.
Yeah.
Like this money's bullshit. So that's the one. And then two, not like he's mad at management. So he's just like, I'm getting a bullshit check. And then you wait, hold on. All right, now let's get to you now. Because let's get to you now for sure.
Dude, I loved. I hope we get more stuff like that.
That is just great, man.
When he started going like this to him,
once the finger starts wagging, man, it's.
Or when he lightly slapped the desk. That was my.
No, let's talk on it. Let's talk. Oh, you went there.
Oh, you want to go?
Let's stay here.
Yeah,
I like that.
Oh, I loved it, man.
And he showed his real personality, which I really love.
And I'll admit, there were years I did not like Sam Mitchell because of our relationship. I love him now. I genuinely because I think I get him now. He gets me now. Like it's just we had to work through some self-imposed bullshit, but like now, like Sam's one of my guys. Like I love doing radio with him because it's so fun. Because especially he's got good perspective, but once we get in the breaks, where we're not on air anymore, he'll let shit fly. It's
I can only imagine. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's great. Oh, he's the best, man.
Well, I really miss that place, Seattle. I was like, yo, that is such a funny line.
It's such a funny tangent. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, I miss playing in that place, and the tension is thick, man.
Yeah.
It was so. I mean, the line where he was like, yo, we got some snitches up here, and he was like, nope.
Truth tellers.
Got some truth tellers. I was like,
that has got to go in the Illuminati.
Oh, it'll be
intro,
in there.
Man.
Well,
Yeah,
when the producer says so, it happens.
Yeah, EP says so. You got to do it.
If we could ever get Sam Mitchell as a truth teller, I mean, that'll be a hell of a segment. So
I got you, man.
Fingers crossed.
We'll
get the truth telling on what really went down with Zach and Sam Mitchell from Sam Mitchell's perspective.
I'd love to know why he was such a dick to me for so many years. I don't know what I did.
Probably because of your shit-eating grin.
Well, that can't help. Yeah.
I think we all look the same. I think that's a big problem, Zach.
Yeah.
Is one time I like the pinnacle of my basketball career was not playing with you, Zach. That is like number 2. But number 1, pinnacle of my basketball career was at UNC basketball camp. I got paired with Mario Chalmers.
Oh shit!
And we ran the table at UNC camp. And
he ran the table.
And so I'm like, yo, this is it. This dude's going to either UNC or Kansas. He's being recruited. He's this kid from Alaska. I'll never forget him. And then I get the Miami Heat index job.
Yeah.
So I'm like hype. I'm like so excited that my guy, Mario, that we were on the team for
your point guard.
So I go into that locker room and I'm all hot. I'm like, yes, like this is going to be my credibility move. My street cred. Like I'm walking in here and everyone in the locker room, LeBron, D Wade, Shane Battier, Chris Bosh, they're all in there.
No,
and I'm like,
I'm with Rio.
Yo, Rio, what's up, dude? Hey, remember back at Chapel Hill like a couple years ago? And he's like, nah.
You know how many camps he must have run through just dominating with some bum-ass white Tom. Like of all the camps, of all the basketball situations he's been in, the fact that you thought Mario Chalmers was gonna remember your week at UNC camp.
It was the worst feeling I've ever had in my life. It
was be so bad.
And Tom, if you would have went on
did people observe this interaction? Or you just kind of off to the side?
I think I was off because Chalmers isn't one of the big dogs there. So I was just like, yo, I'm gonna go up. Yo, Mario.
It's not like
what's up,
Cooper
man?
Moorhead is recording this whole thing happening.
Oh, I wish,
like,
dude. Coop, if he has this, yo,
Bro,
I'm telling you, it would have been shown at my wedding. It was that embarrassing. So, yo, I'm like so excited to see him. Like, dude, this
how
guy.
could you not be, man? You guys won a championship at a UNC camp.
Final Four. The dude won a championship, and I'm like, the whole time when Kansas is winning that championship, I'm like, yo, that's my guy.
That's
yo,
my guy.
We knew each other for like
Oh,
3
Mario
days.
Chalmers, my brother.
And he said something to the effect like, yo, man, I went to a lot of camps, dude. I'm sorry. And I was like, yeah. That was big camp for me. And that was just another Wednesday for him.
So this morning I watched Derrick Rose on Jeff Teague's podcast.
Oh,
I watched the short.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how he was using like OJ Mayo to measure himself against. Like OJ made him spend extra hours in the gym and blah, blah, blah. Like Tom, you would have thought Tom was OJ Mayo to Mario Chalmers.
Yes.
Derrick Rose, the way he was expecting the recognition and the
Did Rio win that camp without Tom or with him?
D Rose is mentioning like specific games and specific camps against OJ Mayo. He's like the coaches were there, blah blah blah. People were talking and like, it was like the 2 best players in their class. Makes sense.
Was so bad.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, remember we played against this team and like, yo, we like, and he's like, I don't remember a thing. And I'm like, okay.
I had an interaction with Jeff Trepanier, where he, there's a name pull. This is back in like 2000, 2001. He dunked on me at a pickup game at USC. Dunked on me. Like it was like he ripped a rebound out of my hands and dunked on me in one motion. Like it was bad. I didn't see it because my back was to him when he dunked on me, but I like everyone else who saw it was dying at that. And then years later, this was actually like kind of recently, something got posted or whatever. And I was like, I think maybe like who's the dunk contest guy? Chuck Milan. I think he had posted like some highlight of Jeff Trepanier back in the day, and I was like, yo, that guy dunked on me like pretty viciously, like one of the worst moments of my life. And Jeff obviously like did not remember a random pickup game at USC. He was like, yeah, sorry, I don't remember that or whatever. And that I'm like, I don't know, man. Like that was pretty traumatizing to me. Like that would be nice if you could just fake that you remembered that. Like that's.
I don't even remember it.
That's literally when I stopped going inside. I was like, all right, I'm done with this shit. I'll just 3-point line. Like, fuck this.
Dude.
You guys are both describing the Don Draper Mad Men elevator meme. Like, I've thought about playing 2-on-2 with Mario Chalmers for years.
It was 5-on-5, okay?
I don't think about you at
there
all.
were many AAU highly recruited players.
That makes it a little more. That makes a little more sense that he wouldn't remember you if there was 3 other teammates as well.
3 other guys he was carrying.
3 other guys he doesn't remember.
Yeah. Or what if he remembered the other 3? That would actually be way worse.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I remember Jason and Justin and like Sean was on that team too, right? Yeah, all 3 of those guys were on that team.
And you were there?
You were there? Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. I mean, nice to see you again. Yeah. Okay, cool.
I did hear
that was tough.
I did hear at one point, I cannot confirm this, and I actually should ask Sam about this, but I did hear at one point that he was mad at all media because they hadn't advocated that he get hired as the coach of the Wolves. I think back when they ended up hiring Rick Adelman. I think he was trying, because I think he had just been fired by the Raptors or around that time, and he wanted to like coach the Wolves. Then I heard, so he was just mad at media members because they weren't writing things about that. But also like that, there's a big gap in between when I started interacting with them and that. So I don't know.
Coaches are a very petty group, man. They are like they remember remember a lot, except for when you're dealing with little white journalists like Zach and I. They don't remember us, but they will remember like grudges about like. I remember one time Mike Dunleavy Sr. He was like, I deserve more credit. You can look this up. I have never lost a series in which I was the favorite. And I was like,
how many series do you have where he was the favorite?
I was like, oh, okay.
That's not.
I was like, all right. And he's like, find me a coach that won as many series as I did. while not getting upset once. And I was like, oh, okay. And like, I think I looked it up and fact checked it, and he was like right, but it was only like a couple series.
There's like one, like he had one run with the Lakers, right? Where they lost the Bulls. Like he was the coach of that
Clips,
team.
which
And then Portland, he had a couple of good teams. So yeah, there's not a lot.
Like that's a real Tom, but it's like the kind of origin story, you know?
Yeah, that really.
Hey, Tom, hey nerd, go find this. Go find another coach who has more wins as the favorite than me.
But I think especially with coaches like that, right? Like Sam Mitchell had success. Like he was literally coach of the year, right? People like Vinny Del Negro, like actually had a decent coaching career, but kind of just got ended, right? Mike Dunleavy had a good coaching career, but isn't thought of in that way. I tried to fire Mike Budenholzer during the championship parade in 2021, and now he's the coach of the Suns, right? Like they're these coaches like who do actually have a very good resume, but aren't regarded in like, oh, let's get that guy another job. Like we're still doing hey, this team's talking to Jeff Van Gundy about it. Like Jeff Van Gundy hasn't coached in like
he's not going
20 years.
And he's not going to.
No.
Which new head coach are you most excited about this year? New head coaching job.
Coach.
Is it Kenny Atkinson in Cleveland, or you think it's already gone?
I've seen this story before. No, absolutely not. No offense to Kenny Atkinson. We know what that's going to be. I think
the Cavs roster is what it is. Like it's misshapen.
Yeah, I'm legitimately excited to see if Jordi Fernandez embraces Cam Thomas all season, right? Because I want to see Cam Thomas lead the league in scoring.
Is that Jerry Stackhouse leading the league? Is that with the Pistons?
No, so much. No, Jerry's like Stack was.
Didn't he shoot like 41% that year?
Stack
yeah.
Stack could hoop. Like,
I know, but like it was pure.
It was weird. Yes, it was weird. But yeah.
I'm just gonna get buckets, and who cares?
And then I kind of want to see what Charles Lee does with the Hornets. I don't think they're going to be good, but I want to see what this starts to look like. He's been a very highly regarded assistant coach for a long time. They have new ownership, new management, still the same roster pretty much, which is not great. But I do want to see like if he can, because there is talent there, if he can start shaping that, and not to where it looks like what the Rockets did last year. I think that's extreme and asking way too much. But I just want to see like, is there progress? Can we start figuring things out? Yeah, Bickerstaff in Detroit's good.
29.8 points per game, Jerry Stackhouse in 2001 for the.
You got to be frustrated not to get to 30.
Yeah, that is tough. You know what? I'm going to look this up right now. TomTheFinder.com for more like this. Oh, you know what? This is not impressive. Hey, Stack, I'm not going to talk shit because you're one of the biggest badasses ever to come through the league.
Yeah. Decision.
In the last game of the season, he shot 6 of 21, only had 22 points. I feel like that needs to be like 41. You're that close to getting 30 a game. It's got to be 41. I know Zach.
Yeah. What would he have needed to get like how off was he?
Okay, I'd have to do the
math.
That's
some kind of math. Yeah.
Here's the rest of that team. Ben Wallace.
TomTheCalculator.com.
Because if he had to go for like 65 that night, that's one thing. If he just needed like 40 something. There's no way that math adds up. He would have had to score like 80 the last night, right?
All right, so
making up 0.2 points per game. That's not
so 30. I got this. 30 times.
Let's just let this go. I like where this is going. I like watching Matt.
He would have to score 42
Tom figure shit out. He would have to score what? 42? Oh shit! There you go. Okay.
42 points. He was at.
What are you doing, man?
23.58, and in order to get to 30 points per game, you would have to get 24,000 points. Played in 80 games that year.
Oh, so he was off by 42.
He in the 80th game, he would have to have scored 42, not.
Oh, okay, got you.
Not 22 like he did.
Okay, so he was 20 points away.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, man, you choked.
What about JJ in LA?
No,
I don't like.
I just want to see when it goes bad, and I want to see the frostiness between LeBron.
I don't think
JJ
his approach with the media is
media
right.
situation is.
I saw that clip of group chat where Justin Verrier's already done with it, and that made me laugh so hard.
Like
JV, I love JV so much,
bro. It's just There's 82 games, bro.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, right?
You gotta like. But just JJ's also such a know-it-all.
Yeah.
So that's not gonna help his relationship with the media at all.
Is it possible? Because he did so much to repair. Really, just outright change, not repair, outright change the perception of him, right? Like he was
gonna change
viewed
back.
as like and he admits that like he was the biggest dickhead when he was at Duke, right? Like he was just a really unlikable person, and so he's talked about that a lot. I wonder, like him as a salty coach in one of the biggest markets. I don't know that that's going to go well if they're not good. Like if they're just fine, like in that play-in tournament range and everything, but not really a threat. I wonder how long that lasts because in that group chat video, the clip is someone asking him about Rui Hachimura taking the next step. He's like, "Well, what is that? Yeah. You tell me what the next step is." And it's like
very innocuous question.
No, right, you're supposed to tell us.
Also, if you believe there's no next step for him and you have no idea how to articulate what that would be, if you're like, no, he's good, okay, that means Rui's maximize what he can be as a player.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's your narrative,
he's kind of like
LeBron
in that way. He's just
it's
like
not
LeBron.
Like
you would never ask that of LeBron. What's LeBron's next step? He's there. He's arrived at the step, guys.
Getting Bryce there.
Well, duh. Everybody knows that.
I kind of hope he hangs on until then.
He's going to.
That would be. I mean, he's
absolutely going to.
Watch starting five. This dude's not playing around. You know. The propaganda. The starting five documentary, I think, is really well done. I don't know how good it is, but it's really well done, right? I've had to kind of reconcile with this.
Is there any juice though? Is there any juice?
I don't know.
That's what is it sanitized? Because I'm like, it looks good.
I heard Jimmy's good in it.
There.
Jimmy's good in it. Ant's good in it. The Sabonis stuff is boring. The Tatum stuff is boring. The LeBron stuff is tremendous propaganda. Like it has made me. It has made me. It has made me so excited for when his documentary gets put together because they've just been filming stuff for years, right? The amount, and I say this genuinely because I enjoyed the 10-hour commercial that was The Last Dance. I'm here for all that bullshit.
It's not gonna be like that.
I think it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's not like LeBron's not gonna show himself being like mean or rude or fucked up.
No, because Michael's like
nasty.
Michael's
like,
right?
Fuck that.
Yeah,
I wanted to kill people. Yeah,
these are bums. I had to raise these bums to be better.
It's going to be like Mind the Game, where it's going to be I'm smarter. Yeah. I'm thinking layers on this stuff, and he's going to come up with like.
Gone, by the way,
of course. Well, it's technically still it's just different now, but it's. I mean, I don't think LeBron's involved. I think just got 2 new people in there to talk shit.
Damn.
But the thing with there's a point I think in the first episode where it's LeBron's segment and everything, and they're just talking, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, Rich Paul is on there and says like, I don't know where this idea that LeBron runs the team comes from. And it's like, they're not even talking about that. I don't know why that got edited in the way it did. And the thing I keep having to reconcile is I watch starting five. I'm not trying to be mean here, but every time they bring a media member in to give exposition on what's going on, it's such boring, obvious nonsense. But I then have to remind myself, they're not making this for sports fans. They're making this for anybody watching Netflix, people, right? Yeah. So you do have to kind of give this banal, really mundane information to catch everybody up to speed. But the edit, I can't remember where, maybe it was on Mailbag or something, but the editing to get you from episode 1 to episode 2 is truly tremendous television. It is absolutely tremendous. Because it is LeBron talking about he is still great. He is still in best shape. No one's going to be in better shape than him. He doesn't see anyone who can match him physically. So he gets done talking about this. They now get to introducing Anthony Edwards, where it's he's in his Lamborghini SUV. He's driving to the facility. He's talking about no, I don't look up to anybody. There's no one I look up to in the league right now. He's walking into the locker room.
Storytelling. Yeah.
He's walking in the locker room. He's like, yeah, if you don't get up, because they're playing LeBron first night. He's like, if you don't get up for you want to kill LeBron, you don't believe in competition, right? And then it cuts to him. It flashes his name. He's just staring at it. The Run the Jewels is playing in the background. He's just staring at the camera. And he just gives a slight little smile. They flash uninterrupted, and then it's watch next episode. I'm like, yo, if I didn't know who that was, I'm diving into the next episode. Me knowing who that is in the story, I'm diving in. Like, it is truly brilliant television.
That clip combined with what he did against Jalen Brunson in a preseason game when he clamped him and got so far. It's not that he clamped him up. It's that he was so hype about it.
He also didn't get the rebound.
And the play's still going, dude.
The play's still going. He's just screaming, man. Like, the backlash for Ant is coming probably this season if they take any kind of step back because of his personality. Dude, I could not be. I haven't enjoyed a player like this in a really long time. Well, no, I guess Jimmy Butler a couple years ago, but dude. I've enjoyed a Timberwolf like this since KG.
Since KG,
like that. I mean, like it is legitimate. Like he is
since Rudy
so
Gobert.
Fun.
Yeah.
So should I just fast forward through all of the scenes with Sabonis and his wife?
No, the first time they throw him in there, they do a cool job of talking about his dad.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
his dad is a legend.
Like the most interesting stuff is about his dad. His dad talks
big
a little
legend.
bit. KG tells an amazing story on Starting Five about his dad at the rookie game in like 95, or I guess it would have been 96. But like no, like there are some parts, but also like, and I'm not trying to be rude, but like Sabonis just like, if you're into the family stuff, I think it hits. Yeah. I'm not. I could give it.
Part of,
I don't care about kids that are not related to me or not directly like my friends. Like it just
get them kids out of here.
So the whole thing of like of the family stuff, I'm just not interested in.
Can I raise a mystery, an unsolved mystery of the Sabonis part of the documentary, though?
Yeah.
So there are tweets that are shown on the screen.
Yeah, I don't understand what this is. Yes.
That say like not an all-star. How? Listing out some Sabonis stats. First player with 30 plus points, 15 plus rebounds, 12 plus assists.
Okay, the first one was Sean Highkin. Who's this?
They're all Sean.
No, they're all allegedly Sean Highkin, but blurred out.
He never did this. But he never
did it, and it was later proved that actually these tweets came from aggregator accounts like Legion Hoops.
Yeah.
But for some reason, this documentary has decided to give Sean Highkin credit for slurping Sabonis.
It's like the FBI did witness protection on someone who never did any, like, who was never part of anything. They're just like, you're in witness protection now. It's like, what? Why am I? This is crazy.
That's nuts.
Like, I don't have any strong opinions about Sabonis one way or the other. He's pretty good. The other blurred out picture next to the name doesn't look like any profile picture I've ever had.
It's so weird.
Yo, that's wild.
Maze, we might have to get Highkin on for Illuminati.
That's
we might. This is
you guys should, yeah.
This is insane.
This is beyond, like, this has to be a producer at Netflix with some kind of agenda. There's the Legion Hoops tweet, and then they attributed that.
They blurred out his name, but then added a profile pic.
Yeah, that isn't his.
It's a lot of extra work, let me tell you, to do all this instead of just posting the original tweet. Like, it's a lot easier to post Legion Hoops. Do they hate Legion Hoops?
And blur that out.
Yeah, just blur.
Hold on.
We're actually blurring out.
This is so good, dude.
I'm gonna do a reverse gurgle suit.
Gurgle. You about to reverse gurgle? This is
man.
This is now a porn podcast.
Well, it does kind of look like the Spice Channel there.
Old reverse gurgle move. That's reverse porno, man.
Who among us has it?
Hold on. What if I can find what that screenshot is? Oh God, this is not. The returns are not good. Blurred out skin and this is not good. Never do this. I would not want anyone else to do this. Do not gurgle this.
Work out.
How do I sharpen? Oh man.
Well, now
I'm on the case. I'm gonna ask Sean to come on Illuminati.
Did you see that lethal shooter thing? He took a picture with Michael Jordan, but it's blurry. So he tweeted it out. It was like, "Can someone please clear this up for me?"
Yo, that sent me, Zach. So the gallery, like the carousel of photos, is the first one is him meeting MJ, and it's like a cool video, and then it's a gallery of all the people, all the stars, the superstars, the legends and they're all amazing, high quality photos.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then you get to the Michael Jordan photo.
which clearly he just
dropped the phone. I was laughing so
he
hard.
clearly like.
Oh my
Did he
God.
clearly just like screenshot it from the video, but it's blurry? He couldn't get it.
No,
Like, I don't understand. It's just an
no.
actual photo.
Let's bring in the photographer.
This looks like Sean Heikenstein in the
Maze.
documentary. Like this is so blurry.
Maze, you're the photographer here. So walk me through. Is it the focus got wrong, and so that's why
the focus is on the lamps on the ceiling.
Yeah.
As you can clearly see, those are crystal clear.
Those are crystal clear.
There's a flash, so it's because of the flash. When you have a flash, sometimes it's like trying to focus, so the flash will be like brightly like pulsating to like figure out the depth of field. And here it just completely fucked up. But how does Jordan look so fucking drunk?
Well,
look at his eyes.
I can take a couple guesses at that one, man.
That's like the tequila photo, but even better. And then, hey, I got you, fam.
Rodeo.
This is good.
Fixed it. Oh my God.
Yo, can you imagine?
Shit.
Oh, dude, the comments are so bad. They're so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, the one where they just gotcha. They just switched it.
Yo, Maze, you have to see the other photos in that stat. They're so good. The photos are amazing. They're
everything's
like
good
the best.
with this one.
And then it just gets to this one, and I'm like, this was the biggest moment of. This is me meeting Mario Chalmers, right? But it's Michael Jordan. It's the same thing, right? And yet I have this professional photographer with me the whole time to capture this one moment. I'm at the Naismith Hall of Fame, and I've got MJ here, the GOAT. And here he is.
And nothing matters to you more than clout chasing. You have to like also think that, right? Like nothing, like you know how many times he would throw that picture up there over the next 5 years? Like that would be
it came out like that. And it came out like that.
And
there's nothing you can do other than throw it up on the
ask for help. Yeah.
Pray to Photoshop.
All right.
Gods.
That was an amazing episode. That was really fun. Anything else we can hit?
I think we touched everything.
I think we got it, man. Yeah.
Just don't snitch. Just tell the truth. That's all you gotta do.
Just be a truth teller.
Oh my God, man.